Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Rhonda Hamall of Hamall Oils and Wellness. She highlights her business's upcoming events and programming and shares tips for wellness in the new year. On NKY at Work, Nancy Spivey chats with Cory Carlson about achieving work-life balance. Cory is one of our speakers at the 6th Annual Talent Strategy Symposium, Total Talent Transformation, happening on Wednesday, March 13th. They also highlight that very exciting event. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Haran. It is nomination and application season here at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, and I want to highlight a handful of the things that are open right now. First up, if you or someone in your network is interested in serving on the 2024-2025 NKY Chamber Board of Directors, nominations are now open. Board members play an important role at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, helping to shape the future of our organization. Those nominations are due on February 2nd. Applications for the 2024 National Civics Bee for middle school students are open through January 22nd. Students will share ideas for bettering their community and their enthusiasm for civics for a chance to win cash prizes. Regional youth leadership applications are now open for current high school sophomores. Those applications are due on February 1st. We also have nominations open for the 2024 Outstanding Women of Northern Kentucky Awards, which celebrate women who are blazing trails, opening doors, and demonstrating leadership. Those nominations are due on February 8th. Business Impact Award applications are also now open. Those are open through February 23rd. These awards recognize and celebrate businesses and leaders making an impact in Northern Kentucky. And finally, Encounter NKY, a leadership program designed for young professionals and those new to the region, is accepting registrations for spring and fall cohorts. The spring cohort begins in April, so apply soon if you are interested. You can find information about all of those applications and more at nkychamber.com. You can also find that information in our newsletter or in Brent's email. Now, let's go hear from our sponsors, meet our members of the week, and Nancy and I will be back with this week's guests.
Why would you travel to England?
For football.
To go or not to go?
That is an easy question.
To visit the land of Shakespeare.
To take in all the sights.
Authentic fish and chips.
To experience arts and culture.
2 words, British Open.
To visit my family.
Same reason I go anywhere. For a pint of beer. To start my trip through Europe.
Whatever your reason, there's no better time than now.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Christine Ray, not your average agent, is a Northern Kentucky real estate professional specializing in helping clients buy, sell, and build and invest in real estate. Medicare Resource Center is your local one-stop Medicare shop serving Metro Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Established in 2012, 3D Ward Inc. creates and ships 3D printed products to customers. Inner Alliance is a nonprofit formed to help fill the IT talent pipeline in Greater Cincinnati by inspiring and supporting high school students. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are joined by Rhonda Hamall, who is the owner of Hamall Oils and Wellness. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, we are happy to have you. So tell us, just right off the bat, tell us about your business.
I am so excited because I officially now, as of May, moved into my own space. I have a essential oil studio where I teach classes and invite guests in. You can invite your friends and have a class at my house, at my studio. You don't have to clean your house, which is lovely. And then I have a little DIY center right next to it. So people can come in. We will make sugar scrubs. We will make bath bombs. We can make green cleaning things. It's just a really fun way to gather people together and do something that helps the environment by making green cleaning items, or that also helps, with your skincare and just a natural product.
Yeah, that is awesome. So you focus on essential oils. There are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of different types of things that you can do with essential oils. Kind of walk us through that.
So essential oils have been around forever. I know we all think about using an essential oil for maybe something that smells really great, but you can do a lot with it to support your body. Like we have oils that can help benefit you if you've been getting the house ready for winter and you've been doing too much work outside. There's an oil that can benefit that pain, muscle strain. There's also oils we can put in the bath. There's oils for calming. We even have oils for kids. There's a lot out there that you hear that says essential oils aren't safe for pets and for children, and that's not true. You need to do your research, and you need to use a pure essential oil, which is why I have partnered with doTERRA essential oils, because they are such a pure essential oil. We have all the research you need to feel comfortable about that.
Yeah, that is great. I know I am a big essential oils of eucalyptus and peppermint when I get really congested.
Yes.
That is something that I love to do. You've mentioned cleaning products too. I think that's really interesting. What kind of things do you offer in that realm?
So I love making green cleaning sprays, and we have a product that's a concentrate. So it's only a tablespoon or two for your all-purpose cleaner, which is better for the environment. It's also great for your pocketbook because you're not spending as much money buying a new bottle every time. You reuse your glass bottle. That's one of the things that you can choose if you want to have a girls' night and bring your friends out, or a girls' afternoon. That can be one of the items that we choose for our DIY. I always want to get the input of the hostess. I also have, if you're not sure you want to invite friends, I have classes that are already on my website, and I update those regularly so you can see what's happening next.
But tell us about the classes and the offerings that you have.
Perfect. So there's classes for stress, sleep, hormones. There's classes for helping your kids to balance their emotions. There's a class for just overall wellness, like how do I learn about essential oils? How do I get started? That's like an essential oil 101 class. And we kind of go through the top 12 oils that we use the most often and how you can do different things with it. For example, you can take lemon oil and take off Sharpie. I love to reclaim like glassware and things at the thrift store, but they always write the prices on in Sharpie. And so you can just take that right off. I didn't know. Drop of lemon oil. I know, isn't it interesting? And we think of Sharpie as being permanent. So, plus it smells really amazing. It helps to clean. And then, just the other types of things for stress, which I mentioned. There's a women's class on hormones. We also have a class for helping to support when you're dealing with just, muscular pain and that type of thing, ways that you can help manage that.
Yeah, very nice. And before we started filming, you also mentioned that you have options for people with young kids or, kind of older children. What options do you have for them?
Absolutely. So I love working with kids, and I just actually had some girls over to do a class the other day, and we made our slime. But really the age group is 4 and up. Parent or grandparent can stay in the class with us, and then they can invite friends if they'd like. Can have up to 6 kids. And so if it's a family, that's great. If it's a few family friends, and we want moms from each family, or a dad from each family to come. But what we do with that is we sit on the floor and we talk about, make the connection with, here's a orange, here's the peel, here's an orange oil, the wild orange oil, and this is where it comes from.
Yeah.
And it's great for them to get that understanding of it, because we're looking at oil and then, and we're calling it oil. So this is it's really helpful for them to make that connection. And then they get to use the oil. They get to experience it. We put a drop in our hands, put a 10 over our nose, and breathe it all in. And then we go through different oils, and then we'll go next door in my little DIY center, and we can make slime. The younger kids love to make slime.
Love slime.
They get to choose their color. We had some bright purples and bright pinks the other day. It was fabulous. And then they get to choose what oil they want to put in it. And then don't worry, I have a very safe container for them to carry with the lid. So everything is contained. And the giggles and the joy is just so fun. It's a great thing to do, especially in the wintertime when everyone is
well cooped up.
They're just ready to get out of the house and do something. And it's, it's super fun.
Yeah,
so,
that is great. And it sounds like the wide range of classes that you have for a wide range of people, that's a really great offering. You've mentioned this a couple of times, that safety aspect and doing your research.
Absolutely.
For people who are kind of new to essential oils, or people who maybe have essential oils at home or just using them in like a diffuser, say, what are some of the things that people need to know?
When you're looking at essential oils, you need to be aware of, well, for example, if you're someone that bakes and you use imitation vanilla or you use real pure vanilla, you're going to get a much better quality with the pure vanilla, and you're not going to have to use as much. So with essential oils or pure essential oils, you're using like 1 drop versus using 10 drops of an oil that has synthetics in it. And that's adulterated essential oils are everywhere in the market. So you can actually research that. There's a lot of research that has been in with universities, and doTERRA is actually used in a lot of hospitals. So that's the part that is, to me, it really authenticates the purity of the essential oil.
Yeah, very important stuff.
Very important stuff. Well, our skin is our largest organ.
Right.
We need to know what we're putting on it. And we can use our essential oils. We can use it topically. We can use them internally on majority of the oils. They have to have a little supplement fact box on it. And then we use them aromatically. And aromatically doesn't have to be in a diffuser. It can just be opening the lid on the bottle and smelling it.
And Rhonda, you have an event coming up later this month. Tell us a little bit about that event.
So I'm super excited about it. It is going to be something to help you jumpstart looking at your health in a more natural way. We're going to talk about movement. We're going to talk about stress. We're going to talk about sleep. We are a culture that really thinks we can sleep later, right? And our bodies need to rest, because that's when our body goes through and does all it needs to do to clean the organs and all that good stuff. Our bodies are so beautifully designed. But that's something we'll discuss. And then also nutrition. If we're putting junk in our body, we should not be expecting to have, a great digestive system. We shouldn't be expecting to have great skin. We shouldn't be expecting, where you're going to get what you're putting into your body. Right. We'll talk through some really great recipes, some easy things to do with that. And the other part is that when someone comes to a class, it's really not the first class they're going to come to with me. So the event that we're doing that I'm really excited about, I hope that people will come to that event, just kind of dip their toe in and see more about it, and then sign up for other classes. Yeah. There's always something to learn. And education is the part that is the only way that we can succeed with this, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And I love being able to offer a variety of classes. I just think it's super fun.
Yeah, that is great. And so for people who are listening to or watching this podcast episode and want to learn more, how can people get in touch?
So you can go to my website, Hamall Oils and Wellness. That's HAMALL, oilsandwellness.com. I have classes that I add classes all the time on there. If you want to host a class, you can go to the host a class or girls night, and then you can see the options that we have, and those will be changing as the seasons change. And then also there's continuing education classes. So maybe you are ready to go ahead and just, I know I want to get this, and this. I need a green cleaning spray, but then you're not sure what to proceed with. We have continuing education classes. So there's 8 more classes to keep just exposing you to more ways that you can add oils in your life daily.
That is great. Well, Rhonda, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I really appreciate your time. Before I let you go, is there anything else that you think our viewers and listeners should know about you or your company?
I just think that it is the one thing that we cannot make more of is time. And it's time to take care of ourselves. It's time to put in the effort that we put into everyone else, that we help support, that we take care of, that we nurture. And it's time to put that into ourselves, because, time is limited. So there's a natural way to help support you and to help you feel good. And we always love for you to let your doctor know these are the things you're working with, because, it's important to partner like that. Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun.
Well, thank you so much once again for joining us, Rhonda.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Nancy Spivey, Vice President of Talent Strategies for the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Today on our NKY at Work segment, I'm with Cory Carlson. Cory is an executive coach and a keynote speaker in the Cincinnati market, And I'd love to learn a little bit more about Cory Carlson and what you're here to talk to us today about. So, Cory, let's start by talking about leadership and how leaders, how you're coaching leaders through this time of uncertainty, and what are some key messages that you like to share with the leaders in the community?
Yeah, well, thank you, Nancy, for having me. Appreciate it, and look forward to sharing some of the insights that, well, I've kind of learned on my journey, but also that I'm currently sharing with my clients. And my clients are business leaders or business owners, whether I coach through one-on-one or I coach in group settings. And really, it's what I share with my clients is sometimes it's not necessarily what they want to hear, but need to hear. Sometimes as in their leadership, they're thinking, hey, if I just know this one tool or this one trick and matrix or whatever it is, I can go share with them. But most of my time with my clients and one-on-one calls is helping them with themselves.
Yes.
Like helping them destroy their self-limiting beliefs that they have. Many leaders are wondering, are they good enough, or are they the right ones to help navigate the company through this change or through these different challenges? And so a lot of my calls are, hey, how are you taking care of yourself from a mental standpoint, coming to mindset and help elevating their mindset, from a physical standpoint, what time are they going to bed, what time are they waking up, turning off notifications on their phone so they're not constantly buzzing to eliminate stress, setting up boundaries at work and at home. Like those are the items I end up spending most of my time on my coaching calls with my clients. Like we talk strategy and what are your rocks for the quarter and what are the big initiatives, and we're doing those items. But man, it's wild, Nancy, how much time when you are coaching a leader is actually helping them perform at their best. And when they do that, they know most of the things they want to share with their team already. They've read the books, they've listened to podcasts, they've done the conferences. Like they know the content they want to share, but sometimes it's powering through those self-limiting beliefs to actually go share what they know they should.
And don't you think that leaders in general tend to view themselves as, I'm here to teach others, instead of looking internal about how they can better themselves to be better, not only at the office, but like I see your book behind you, at home, other things like that. Isn't that a big key element of all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard the phrase before is not only do we need to look at content, through like a window, but also content as a mirror.
Yeah.
And how are we being self-reflective? How are we thinking through how the day went, how the week went? A lot of times, Nancy, mediocre leaders don't reflect. If a job went well or the quarter went well, they just almost pat themselves on the back and think, yep, we did great, keep going. And if it went bad, they typically blame others. Oh, the customers didn't go, they didn't renew, or maybe it's this employee's fault. But the great leaders are reflecting on those anomalies. Whether something went very well, they want to reflect, hey, how do we optimize it? Did we make more sales calls? Did we do more face-to-face? Did we have better follow-up? Like, why did it go well? Let's figure that out and optimize it. And then if it went well or did not go well, then let's learn from it. Let's not pass the blame to everybody else. Let's think through, hey, what can we do better, whether it's through processes, it's through its people, or it's through better products.
Well, help me understand, if I'm a leader and I'm looking for a coach, someone like you, what are the key factors that I need to explore? How do I find out how to get a good coach that would help me?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, glad you asked, Nancy. No, actually, in all seriousness, I think everyone needs a coach. I think we all perform at a better level when we have an outside perspective, not only encouraging us, but challenging us. Mm-hmm. And, for a long time, coaches in the business world were kind of a secret. In the sports world, everyone has coaches. We all have heard the story of LeBron James that can have 10 coaches at a time. He's got a nutrition coach. He's got numerous basketball coaches. He's got all these different coaches, and that's true of many people in athletics or in kind of performance related fields. So business is the same way. So I think everyone needs a coach. Coaches are different price points. You figure out the price point you want to spend that help you. And what I've seen in my own life, I am a coach, but I hire coaches myself. Like I also have coaches I'm spending money on, and I've seen the ROI not only in revenue, but I see the ROI across all areas of my life. When I was in corporate America, I was there for 20 years. I was vice president of a $120 million division here in Cincinnati. That's how I actually got here. I got transferred from Kansas City to Denver and then to here. Mm-hmm. And when I got transferred here, Nancy, I was a little bit in over my head. I was in charge, VP of this $120 million division. I was managing people older than me. I leapfrogged my boss. I was now managing him. And so I kind of had imposter syndrome. I was taking my identity to work, where if I had a great day and I presented to the executive team and it went well, then I thought I was the man. And if it didn't go well, I was too worried about getting canned. So I was skipping the gym. I was skipping my quiet time. And that's when I was like, I need help. So I hired an executive coach then. And I just became a better husband, a better father, a better leader. And it all happened because I had a coach that helped me dream bigger, helped hold me accountable. And I looked at life from more of a larger perspective than just the P&L.
Well, and I know since you and I connected a couple of months ago, and I'm really excited that you're going to be one of our speakers for our Talent Strategy Symposium coming up in March. And I really appreciate some of the messages out on your social media channels around how you've got to have that commitment to home to be a successful leader at work. So I just think that message resonates with not only top executives, but mid-level managers and others. You can't be good to others if you're not good to yourself and good to the people that matter around you. Isn't that correct?
No, 100%. Unfortunately, I've lost at home, so I know what that's like. And I've also lost at work, so I know what that's like. Listeners just need to know that you can win at home and win at work. It's not an either or, it's a both and. And so you can have success in the family room and in the boardroom. But it takes boundaries. It takes intentionality. At work, we're very intentional. We've got vision statements. We've got KPIs, key performance indicators. We have one-on-one meetings with our team. Like we do all these things intentionally from 8 to 5, but yet when we come home, we wing it. But yet if we have intentionality with having one-on-one dates with our spouse, with one-on-one dates with our kids, with blocking time for quiet time, exercise. I mean, it's wild the difference it can make. And when you perform better at home, you then can show up and perform better at work. Why is that? Well, because you're not worried about what's going on at home. You're not worried about towards the end of the day having to think through, well, when I walk through the front door, I'm going to say this to my spouse and they're going to say this to me. But instead you can walk in it with peace because things are in a good spot.
Yeah, that's such a good message, especially this time of the year when we're all kind of reflecting on the year past and planning for the year ahead. Are there other things that you want to share, before we sign off for today?
Yeah, I think for all those leaders listening, wherever you're at, you don't have to stay there in that position. If there's an area of your life that feels stagnant or stale, maybe it is in fact your marriage, it feels stagnant, or I deal with a lot of leaders who really don't have any friends. They're so busy working, or maybe they are busy having success at home, but they don't have friends. And I too have been there before when I was president of sales for a national contractor traveling all the time. I was a super employee during the week and then super husband and, father on the weekends. I found myself low on friends where I could talk of anything of depth, but I wouldn't change that. I went and pretty much speed dated a bunch of guys to figure out who I want to hang out with more. And so I think, Nancy, just for any of those listeners are like, whatever area feels low, with intentionality, whether you get a coach or not, but with focus, you can improve that area. So that'd just be my encouragement for those listeners is wherever you're at, you don't have to stay there. You can improve. I have low spots throughout all my areas of my life that I had to recalibrate to get better. So I know it can work. And and if they're like, hey, I think Cory can help me, then great, reach out. But if it's not me, then find another coach or somebody to help you.
Well, we'll certainly share out your contact information, and we love having you as a part of our Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce family. So thank you very much for the time you spent today, and look forward to seeing you in March.
Well, thank you very much, Nancy.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today and learning a little bit more about Rhonda Hamall and Cory Carlson. Don't forget to check out all of our open nominations and applications at nkychamber.com. There is something for everyone, and we are so excited to have you involved. Thank you once again to our podcast sponsors, CVG, Secret Consulting, and Haran. Finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the Northern Kentucky Spotlight podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Chamber, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. And if you're someone who is interested in sharing your workforce strategies and resources on NKY at Work, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you or at our staff directory at nkychamber.com. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next week.